The Louis Diaz podcast.
I have to do this again.
Lights, camera, action.
That's it. And then I have to say to everyone, welcome to another episode of the Louis Diaz podcast again. This time I've got Peter Psomadelis, aka Temps. You know, we did start talking for about 10 minutes or so off air, but now I have to cut that out and we have to start again.
That's all right. It's good because you know what?
That's what happens
It was
when
a test.
That's what happens when we change location and something gets thrown out. You know, I'm a creature of habit, and so if you change one thing, sometimes it rattles me, and I forget to do one part of the step.
I like that.
So apologies.
I like the way you're laying your...
Humility. Admit when you fuck up. That's what I like to do. I fuck up often. I'll admit it.
We all fuck up, man. I've made fuck ups too, man. Like, you know,
But it's great to be here. And what I didn't capture before, because I hadn't pressed record on the audio, was that we're here in front of your artwork.
yes.
Some graffiti that you've done here in Hosier Lane. Now, we're a little bit further down the lane than where I normally sit, because you've asked me if we can specifically do the episode in front of artwork that you've done, love hearts and music notes and some of the colours and shapes that surround it. Like I said before, this is a real pleasure, a privilege for me to be talking to an artist in front of their very own artwork. I've never done this before. So thank you.
No, but Louis, thank you to you. And thank you to Scott, the photographer, that when I was walking down the laneway, he said, "Hey, Peter."
What's his name? Scott.
He's a photographer that takes photos around the city.
Nice.
I don't ask many questions.
Yeah.
But-
Shout out to Scott.
Yep, Scott. Anyway, so, and yeah.
What was this inspired by? Because we covered that, but we didn't catch it on air. So this was inspired by...
This was inspired by my artwork.
Yeah.
Was inspired by my upbringing.
Yeah.
Because I was a graffiti writer when I was younger, breakdancer. I was in the hip hop scene.
Nice.
You know, I was inspired by people like Pearl, Ransom, a couple of boys from RDC. There was a couple of Yarraville boys, because when I was young, I used to go to my auntie and uncles and hang out with the Greek boys and a few Lebanese boys down in Newport.
Nice. That would have been rough.
You know, mate, that was rough in the 80s down there. But they were great with me and, you know, a few other boys. Then City Square, you know, a couple of boys there. Then I got into the competition, breakdancing. I was breakdancing with a Lebanese boy, Sam. Then I had
That's so funny.
a club owner. Should I mention his name?
Go do it.
He was the Turtle Master, they called him. His name was Steve. I don't want to mention his surname,
Okay.
but he's got a very nice club in Sydney Road.
Right.
I reckon it's probably one of the best underground clubs.
Nice.
It's called My Eon.
My Eon. Yeah, I've heard of My Eon.
It's a nice
I've been
club.
there before.
It's a very nice look. I've known. Me and Steve used to breakdance when we were young, because we grew up we went to the same school.
Yeah.
You know, and he's got a very nice club, and there's a lot of good, you know, up-and-coming talent there. I haven't been out in the club scene in the last 2-3 years, because I've been focusing on writing a book
Yeah.
and art and other stuff, and working, like you said, being grateful, working on myself.
Yeah.
You know, we all make mistakes, and it's all about me, and you know, my father's not well at the moment. I'm trying to help him out with his health, so I'm being grateful, man, to be here, alive, in Melbourne,
Oh, that's good.
with you.
Yeah.
I met you.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah. Well, despite the little hiccup with the audio recording, I'm very grateful that we're here and that you're as forgiving as you are. But also, yeah, I'm curious to know what your book's about. What's the book about? Is it like a autobiography?
Yes, it's going to be about my upbringing
Yeah.
until everything.
Until
Till
now.
now, and there
Yeah.
might be some added things,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm not in any relationship.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, that's right. You
know,
mentioned you're single
Yeah,
before.
I'm single, because a lot of people, you know, I might have been seen out with different kind of ladies, because they are beautiful creatures and people too.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean, you know, I was married before. did have a marriage, but
Have you got any kids?
no, I don't. I don't have any kids, and you know, now that I look at it, you know, it is what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
It's still early. I
Okay.
can still fire.
Yeah.
I can still fire.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Okay. That's good
but
to know.
the thing is, you know, What can
Do
I
you
do?
want to? Yeah. Do you want to?
If it happens, it happens.
Okay.
I'm not forcing.
Still open to it.
Open to it. Why not?
Okay, at 51, still
Wow,
open to it.
why
I like
not?
that. I like that.
I'm open, man.
Little Temps running around.
I don't know. Just look, I've still got dreams.
Yeah.
But I think, like I said before, from my upbringing until now,
Yeah.
I think I've achieved a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Even the mistakes, I've still taken them on board.
Yeah.
And I've always lifted myself up through art. And even the things that were wrong at that time, and even the people that went against me, I still love them, man.
Yeah.
I've always had love. That's why the notes are all about love and music. That's
you can see that.
yeah, man. It's
There's a lot of love in your artwork.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and just to mention, because I had some great connections overseas, and one particular good friend in Athens, his name's Tolly Q.
Okay.
And in 2018, I sent some vocals
Okay.
on my phone
Nice.
to Tolly.
Yeah.
was
Vocals,
funny.
as in like
Like
singing.
like, whatever. And then we sent them off to Tolly to Athens, and then
Yeah.
Tolly got up with a couple of beats.
Yeah.
And in 2018 March, we released it.
Yeah. 2018.
Yeah,
So it was
2018.
like 6.5 years ago.
6.5 years ago. We didn't do any big promotions or anything like that. It was an independent Russian label. It was a release 101. The EP was called Grapha, and it went well. 7 releases.
Can you do some bars? Can you drop some bars for me? Like what was the vocals?
In the taxi, off the plane, in the taxi.
I may have heard this.
Coffee time, graph in the laneway. Stuff like that. It was good beats.
Okay.
It went well on Beatport.
Yeah.
And that's when I realised, hey man, I have talent here.
Right.
I have talent. I could be doing this. And sometimes you get scared. You know what I'm saying? You get these cold feet.
Yeah.
But when you start seeing people liking it and that, and you think, oh, that's nice. But look, I'm grateful, and I'll tell you why I'm grateful, is because I've been raised in Melbourne and I've always supported art, music with other up-and-coming artists. I think people respect that, and I think now is my time, it's my time, working on myself.
That's an important thing to acknowledge, like
My time working on myself,
Yeah.
Louis, like my health, my brain, my art.
Yeah.
Still be there for my family.
Promoting yourself.
Still be there for my family.
Yeah.
My father,
Yeah.
he's been there for me. But I'm learning to put boundaries on people, because I'm a very given person, mate.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
So I love everyone, but you know that.
I get it. I get it.
man.
And I think it's good. It's good to acknowledge when you've paid your dues. You've served your community. You've promoted other people. You've helped lift others up. And now it's time to lift yourself. But so you were born and raised here in Melbourne.
I was in Northcote, Melbourne. I went to school at St Anthony's in Alphington.
When did you start with the artwork?
I started with the artwork in 1984, 85, somewhere like that. And I started it in Yarraville when I was visiting my auntie
Yeah, right.
and my uncle.
What were you
and there
doing?
was
Graffiti?
just tags and all that,
Yeah.
Temple, Temps, Tempted, all this stuff.
Temps.
And there was 2 artists, Crack and a few Black and all the FMC boys. But they were doing freestyles and that, man. And Duke, there's an artist called Duke, who was doing this mad in the 80s.
Yeah.
So that all inspired me. And then Ransom, later on,
Yeah, right.
Pearl, Paris, Jewel.
So these are all graffiti writers that you're naming.
Yeah, and all, they were, I got inspired.
Yeah.
And then I got into the graffiti.
Nice.
I was a shoe designer at Collingwood TAFE later on.
What kind of shoes?
Men's shoes, women's shoes.
Okay. Fancy shoes or like runners?
Just all different, just really fancy shoes.
Okay.
I was, so.
There's a lot to you, Peter.
And then I'll brief you up a little. And then after that, I went overseas to Greece.
Yeah.
When I was 17. Did the army.
Oh.
Lived there. And then blah, blah, blah. Came back to Melbourne. Back into the nightclubs. I was working at my family business in St Kilda. We used to own Mega Seafoods at Carlo Street.
Oh, okay. Carlisle Street.
We used to own
My
Mega
old
Seafoods.
neck of the woods. Hey, everyone on Carlisle Street.
Yeah, did that. And then I even become a garbo. For
Really?
the council, yeah.
52, man. How many lives have you lived?
Anyway, into the nightclubs, promotions and all that. And then got married. Didn't work out. We got divorced. after the divorce, I went homeless, went through depression. You know, I had to reach out with organisations to get the help. I had to help myself and all the other stuff, and got back on my feet. Then I went back to work. I was involved with imports, containers, promotional clothing, and I've always sort of tried to, you know, get back to where? Art, writing poems, portraits, and all the other stuff.
Yeah, you were mentioning offline earlier that music's been a big part of your life.
It has.
Music and art.
Yeah, it has.
You know, and for me, it sounds like
It saved me.
You've been through a lot. Like, it's been an anchor for you. Like, it's something that you've been able to come back to help get you on a little bit more of an inspired path in your life.
It's lifted me, and I encourage, and I'm sure you would know this too, because you're a creative person, to be able to do this with me here. I believe without you being here, I wouldn't be able to share my story, but it's all about vibration, energy, you know, spiritual development. Everyone plays a part in your role, you know, and being kind and nice. Yep. Sometimes someone might not be kind and nice, but it's okay to ask, he's probably having a bad day today. But the next day you could, are you okay?
Having a bit of empathy.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think I've got a lot of empathy in me, you know, and what I would like to share is I did volunteer a lot at an organisation called Lentils as Anything.
Oh, yeah.
In Abbotsford.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier.
Thornbury, Footscray. And in 2019...
I've recorded one of these at Lentils at Abbotsford, episode number 2.
Did you?
Yeah.
Louis! Word up.
Yeah, with Lempy. She's a nomad. She hitchhiked from Finland to Morocco. She told that story.
Louis, you know what?
At Lentils.
You touched my heart. And I'll tell you one thing, that I met a lot of different characters, beautiful souls. And in 2019, things weren't looking well in Australia and Victoria, November. Whoa. And a friend of mine asked me to help his father, you know, and I decided to help him. But I was volunteering at Lentils at that time. And then coronavirus came in. I wasn't part of Lentils anymore. Then it just went down, man. Like it expired. And then right after that, my mate's father passed away. Then I went sort of back to Lentils. I had more time. It was too late. Thornbury closed down. All of them closed down. Then we went to Abbotsford. We all, the old crew, got back together. It was amazing, us all getting back together. But I think it was time. I think it was time for them. I think it was time for them to close. This guy here is a very nice guy from the living room.
Okay.
He's a beautiful soul. So everyone out there, if they ever need help, you go and see this man. Don't let the tattoo scare you. He's got a fucking beautiful heart.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so...
Awesome. Yeah. You must...
Love you, man.
You must have come across so many characters, man, in your time.
He's a beautiful...
honestly.
Hey! Love you, man.
Yeah.
Man.
I can see the joy and the appreciation you have for people
Man,
that
listen,
have come across your path in your journey.
Hey, Louis, I'll tell you one thing. I think people got to realise, and I've realised this too, and I've always realised this. It doesn't matter what I've done in my life. I've never blamed other people.
Nice.
I'm the kind of person to say, yeah, man, it's my fault. I admit it. But what it is, it's when a lot of people try to get together. It's like the mob, all right? This is the funniest thing, but and I want to share it with all of you.
Yeah.
All these people together try to go against the chosen one, the one that the universe has brought on the planet, because we're all chosen.
For sure.
But when someone has a journey on life like yourself, and you're here to broadcast everyone's story, mate, doesn't matter who you are. You reckon anyone's going to be able to stop it?
No.
Not at all. So I think we've got to be grateful, like that rock star that you just met from the living room. Man, everyone has a story, man.
For sure.
We just got to be grateful. Sometimes we're going to have bad days. Sometimes we're going to be okay. But I think, you know, sometimes we've got to fall and we've got to say, okay, and we're going to rise again. Because I've met some, man, I'll tell you, the most creative people on this planet, rock stars I call them, have been through a fucking hard journey. Yeah, terrible time, man. We just got to be understanding. And man, I can tell you a lot of stories because I have a lot of stories to say.
Man. Well, that's
and
what
like
we're here for.
in August, I had a situation in the Melbourne Magistrate Court.
Okay, tell us about it.
And
Why were you there?
I'll tell you what happened.
Okay, why were you there?
I was there because I was getting charged for not having a ticket,
What kind of ticket?
transport ticket.
Oh, just a
But I do have
Mikey card.
a Mikey card, not giving my ID or whatever. Anyway, the whole story. What happened, the reason I admit that I didn't, was because I got a phone call from a particular grandmother that lost her granddaughter,
Right.
murdered and raped in Melbourne, because every year this family gets the brother gets really traumatized and he loses it. So the grandmother calls me to tell me, hey Peter, so-and-so's not well now. Can you please come and, support him? So at that time I just left my wallet at home. My car was in the mechanics. And I just got my keys and I got on the bus to go to Ascot or Moonee Ponds, wherever it was. No, it was Essendon, Pascoe Vale, because they live right next to the airport in Pascoe Vale. And I get pulled over by ticket inspectors. I reckon I got set up.
They love that route. The 59.
I think I got set up. All right? I reckon I got set up. This guy, and I said, look, mate, I'm not in the mood. He thought I was going to run. Like 50 years old bloke thinks he's going to run off. I sat there, police came, gave him my details. I said, can I continue? He said, the PSO officers asked the ticket inspector. How stupid is that? Where PSOs have got more understanding and they should have said, let the guy go on. Anyway, so what happened was I got to my destination, whatever. A year later, they sent me a summons to go to court. So I thought, no way. I took it to court. I took it to the Melbourne Magistrates. It was a 2-year situation. At the last hearing in July, the magistrate said to them, this is ridiculous, guys. Well, this should have been resolved. So it went on to August, and beautiful magistrate TK Harnett.
Shout out to TK.
Harnett, amazing magistrate. Love you. Thank you for your support and also the justice system. But also to our celebrity barrister, Jeffrey Campbell, that helped me out.
Jeffrey Campbell, don't know him.
And his associates. I was lucky because I was representing myself and the magistrate can only give you a verdict. And she gave me a very good verdict. All charges got dropped. And see you later and continue with your life, Peter. So it was great, good outcome. And it's good and bad too, because I went through some stress moments at that time of my life, but it made me more stronger.
Absolutely. Well, that's good. I love how grateful you are. You're so grateful. And you can reflect on everything and put a positive spin on it. That's a really great trait. I'm wondering though, I'm curious about a guy like you. You said you went into the army before, and you don't seem like the type that would handle too much structure and rigidity that well. What was that experience like?
That was, you know what? I reckon the military discipline and all that,
Yeah.
I reckon it's probably shaped me.
You're kidding. That's
Honestly, I reckon that helped me a lot, Louis.
Why?
I really think so
What
because
is it about it?
I remember that I enjoyed it more. I think I enjoyed it more because I made good connections with friends, and I remember when they took me. I was in Thessaloniki. I was based in a city like Melbourne called Saloniki, and then they shipped me out to a place called Sparti, where all the Spartans come from, right? And that was the base of the soldiers, ground soldiers, transport, full on Spartans,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So they had me when I was
Spartan.
You
were a Spartan.
I was trained like a Spartan, yeah. And my soldier number was, and I've got it tattooed here,
Yeah.
was 222.
No way.
Triple twos.
What are the chances?
And, it's like an angel number.
Yeah. What does it mean? Have you looked it up?
I don't like to sort of talk about spirituality a lot.
Why not? We can do that here. This is a safe space.
No, it is. But what I'm saying is that I have looked into it. I'm looking more into spirituality now. Greatness, mind, body, soul, and symbolizing and numbers and all this. I still believe, I respect all religions, man.
Yeah, and
I've been overseas to Bali. I've been to Jakarta. I used to do a lot of trips to Bali. A lot. Because of the music, because tech house and house music, and I love that. I love all music, man. It's got this, especially Kylie Minogue's music now. This tension too. Man, he's got to jump on it.
Really?
Man,
Kylie?
Man, I'm telling you, Kylie. Hey, it's only my
She's
opinion.
a local girl, so I respect for Melbourne, fellow Melburnians.
She's a local girl.
Yeah, she did move to London though.
But hang on. London is where, guys.
That's true.
It's where the music scene is,
Yeah,
guys.
I get it.
Guys, I'm telling you.
I get it.
If you really want to get ahead with music, Melbourne is the place, but Melbourne is pretty cliquey. You have to go to London or Europe, Berlin, Athens. Now, to crack the music industry in Athens, it's pretty...
That would be really clicky.
Guys, I'm telling you. And the friends that I've created in Athens, especially that good friend of mine, Tolly Q.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Tolly's gone way back, man. He's an artist, DJ, producer, remixer, record label owner, entrepreneur, connector. You know,
Totally cute.
I would like, you know what? You know, my dream is? My dream. And you never know. It might happen next year or end of this year.
I want to know what your dream is.
To bring 3 very special people in my heart.
Okay. Who are they?
Tolly Q
Bring them where?
to Melbourne to play.
Okay. So where's Tolly now?
Tolly's in Athens.
Athens. Okay. Tolly
So
Q from Athens.
this is the thing that I would like to work on next year.
Yep.
To bring Tolly to Melbourne. There's
Okay.
another particular artist that I really think that that I've worked with in the past. Her name's Jay Hill. She's got a record label called People of the Light. Check it out.
Jay Hill, People of the Light. Okay.
You know, and there's another
Who's number 3?
another young up and coming artist. I've got a list of 100 people. But the third one is, his name is David Cassie.
David Cassie?
Kassi.
David Cassie. What does David do? What's his jam?
Producer, DJ, deep house music.
Love house music.
I love music.
Yeah,
And
me too.
you know, and understand and seeing these artists.
Yep.
Not only them, there's a lot of other artists that because I was involved with the program at Kiss FM in Melbourne. It wasn't my show. It was someone else's show, but I was sort of getting the DJ's program behind it.
Yep.
I was like the behind man.
Yeah. You were involved.
I was involved, Danko, and there was another girl from Russia named Lara, and they had the show on Kiss FM for several years, a slot every Friday morning from 3 to 5 a.m. And the show was doing really well, man.
3 to 5 a.m.?
Yeah, but it was because it was all pre-recorded DJ sets. You just put them on the show, people listen to them, you know what I'm saying? So the hard work of that was more my work talking to the DJs and the producers overseas. They were just putting it in there. So, you know, it's good to see people like, you know, it's a football team and you got to handball it. And I think I've done too much of the handballing and now it's...
But that's cool.
Yeah, but I enjoy
you know
it.
what? You know what? As well, like I can understand.
You understand.
I can understand where you're coming from because I think there's a tendency for some people to give maybe too much in their life, and I feel like you reflected on that point, and you've at times felt like maybe you've been too much of a giver and haven't looked after yourself enough.
Absolutely.
But I think at the same time that's worked for you because it's like being generous with your time and energy has exposed you to a lot of people, and you've probably learned a lot of great things from them.
I have.
And picked up a lot, so
I have.
It's a double-edged sword. I think it's got you to
I've been grateful, man.
Yeah.
Man,
for sure.
And I've only said probably 40% of my stories. Like, man, I've got some... Man,
I don't even think you've touched 4% of your stories.
I've got some great stories, but you know what? I've met some amazing, and I've met a lot of talented. You know what? I think everyone is talented, but I think someone needs to ignite it.
Yes.
It's like I'm the flame.
Ooh.
I'm the injection.
Ooh.
There's a friend of mine, right?
I like that.
And I want to say this, and word up to Richard. I really respect Richard. I remember in 1988 or sometime there, it was Pearl's or Jason's birthday, Kem, one of my crew members when we were in the graffiti scene. And they did this big party up in Kew. There was thousands of graffiti writers and all different people. And Pearl and all the boys were DJing there. That's where it all started, you know. And I remember Richard, he was DJing at that time. Richard was the first person that did these warehouse parties. And, you know, I've always went to his parties and I supported him. And I ran into Richard probably last year at Hub 301 at Greg's store in Johnson Street. Like I said earlier, Greg started at Central Station. Then he went to Rhythm and Soul in Chapel Street. And still today, man, at 56, man, he's still rock and rolling with Hub 301. So, and, you know, I look at Greg and I get inspired too. And I always try and push him, you know, man, you're doing well, man. And you know, sometimes I go in there because my energy's, you can see my energy's up here, man. Look, I'm not on any drugs or alcohol, man. It's just my energy, man. Man, my energy's rock and roll, man. And I go in there, Greg goes to me, Pete, I've got work. I said, get a couple of vinyl out and let's listen. And I listen there with him and he pops the music. I say, hey, I like that. And then he looks at me to see what I do. And then I go on the turntable and I slow it down. I like that because I remember in the 2000s, he used to DJ at all different areas in the city. And after inflations with a couple of female friends that used to dance in the nightclubs and strip clubs, they'll meet up with me and we used to go at different clubs to dance in the morning. And I always used to go where Greg used to DJ. And man, the morning hour sets they used to play there, it was like, the vibe was, it's like, I'm still here to be able to talk about it, you know? So
those would have been good times.
And this is why I did this here, man. Like,
yeah.
And I'm surprised it's still here today.
Well, when did you do this?
I did this on Tuesday, man.
Yeah, well, it doesn't turn over that quickly.
No, Tuesday, I did that. What I did here, I did a Temps and I did the music notes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, we've been...
All right. Let's just finish up quickly.
Oh, yeah, this guy at this venue. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
We'll finish up quickly. You can have a smoke. You know what? I want you to have your smoke.
Why don't we talk and smoke together and then we'll pack it up and... Give us 5.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm not a want one.
Oh, man, you know, yeah.
Let's just finish.
It's sad. We're going to have to cut this short. How long have we been going?
No,
32 minutes.
That's all right.
I think that's...
That's perfect, man.
Yeah.
You know what I like about it? Because you're cool. You know what I like about you, Louis? I really want to say this, man.
What do you like?
Why I approached you. It was your energy, man.
Thank you,
man. You're a cool cat.
Oh.
No, listen.
Okay, I appreciate that.
No, you're a cool cat. And you know what? I know I'm sitting here with you. Doesn't matter what the situation is.
Yeah.
You know what is real and what is fake because you can see it. And you, just from sitting there, you can read me, man. You can read people.
I know. I like your energy too, and I appreciate the compliment. You know, you captivated me with your smile. You have a great smile, and I think, you know what they say, like the eyes are the window to the soul. I think the second window to the soul is the smile. Like a smile like that, 52 years, and I can tell they haven't been easy years.
No.
But, you know, one of the things that I really pride myself on, and something I said earlier, was basically every breath that we have on this planet, even our worst moment, is something that we should be grateful for. And I can tell when I saw you, when I met you, when you approached me, I was like, that guy, there's something special there. There's something about you. And I had to do this.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, honestly, man.
We came out of my normal spot to come here, and unfortunately we're being interrupted, but this is special.
No, but this moment here, Louis, it's stamped, signed, and it's delivered. And I tell you, it won't come again like this. Even if they give me, I'm telling you, the people that really know me, they know. They know me, Louis. And like you said in your question earlier, in the interview, it might have been not been in it. Am I in touch with my people that I grew up? Some of them, no. But one thing I'll say, because I was at Chapel Street buying some paint because the other boys that I buy these loop cans were closed and I needed them to touch up here. Frank, great bloke. Montana Paints, great guy. I love his attitude. He stands solid, respects me, I respect him. I could say whatever I want, no hard feeling. He says the same thing. Because he's old school, man. Old school. He's old school, man.
They've got thick skin.
Like me. He's old school. And you know, humble. The boys that I've grown up with, doesn't matter what side they're on. All those people through my childhood until I was 18. They like me or not, I don't care. They will always be The ones here today, the ones that have passed away, the ones that are wherever. If they like me or not, whatever, I don't care. But they will always be in my heart because they were part of my...
I love
And there's
that.
a book that a
You're
graffiti writer published. His name's Puzzle, because I grew up with Juro Puzzle,
Okay.
because I grew up on the Hurstbridge line. I know, man. I know them all, all right? And, you know, Juro's a big, tall guy. He was a little bit, you know, whatever. But I still love him, man. And you know what? Like I said to Frank, I want to write this book, and I really wanted this guy to publish it. You know, really, because he's the one that knew my childhood. And it's not about money, man, you know, because I can go to people with, I'm talking about dollars, mate, that I've helped during my journey. And I'm not talking about just pittance. I'm talking about, but I've never knocked on their door to ask for help, because one day I will at something that is special for me and my journey, but also for the community. So that way others could...
Enjoy it too.
That's what it's about,
I
man.
love that.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that, man.
That's what it's about, man. I'm not... If I was in this business, if I was in here to make money, I wouldn't be here, man, on the street. And I've been in the high classes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
That's what it is.
tell you a story before we go. I'll tell you... Look, I'm going to say this bit. An experience that I had with a DJ, her name's Nina, that plays at clubs, Kudata. She's played on the circuit, man. And beautiful soul, Nina. She's the front of a big, you know, she's a beautiful soul. But I want to share this, all right? An experience. When she was coming to Melbourne to play at Fitzroy Beer Garden in 2014 at an event there, and there was a club called Club 23. So Club 23 had their own DJs, very good boys there too. I don't want to mention names. The promoter called me and said, listen, we know that she's playing at Fitzroy, because I was behind her, because she must have told him, because we're all friends.
Yeah,
Melbourne
sure.
knows each other.
Yeah.
Called me and said, look, you know, please don't promote it. No worries. But you're welcome to come, because we want her to play at Club 23. Big name, Nina, you know. Anyway, so she came to me, I'm coming, I met up with her. I took her around, man. Took her to Killing Time in Chapel Street, Cam's. She got to know Cam and the boys there. On the way, leaving from Killing Time, me and Nina are walking on Chapel Street. There's a store there with, you know, old Salvation Army clothes. This is funny, guys. And then what happened was, she went through the shirts, and she got this shirt with all the stars. Said, hey, I'm going to wear this at Club 23. So what happened? She wore it at Club 23. You know. Anyway, so what happened was, she played a good gig. She did a 3-hour. She did a 3-hour set.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the laneway,
There
you know.
is.
So this laneway is pretty like, it can get a bit hectic. But listen, when you got Temple's energy and rock star Louis over here, hey. See, people like that just have to look at us, and trust me, we don't even need to do anything, because it's all about
Good
energy.
I love that. Let's close it out. We've
All
been
right,
asked
mate.
to pack
Yeah.
up, but where can people learn about you and your book and your work? Where can we promote it somewhere?
All right, listen. This is very exclusive today with you, and I'd like to say thank you to you.
Thank you.
No, honestly. So we will keep in contact,
For sure.
and hopefully when I get more information on that,
Absolutely.
we could share it on your...
Yeah, let's do it again.
I would like to keep it... I'm not the kind of person to go to another broadcast, Louis. Now that we've built this relationship,
Absolutely.
I like to sort of like continue it with you.
Let's do it.
It's like a deal.
You're welcome.
Deal?
You are very welcome.
Now, the other thing that I would like to talk about, and I will give you the links, is on the track that we did.
Absolutely. We've got
Okay?
to go.
All right, let's go. Louis, I'd like to say thank you.
Somad-
Psomadelis.
Peter Psomadelis, thank you.
Temps.
Temps, thank you from the bottom of my heart. We've been asked to
man.
pack up, and so
Yeah.
we're going to comply and be good citizens of Melbourne.
Melbourne, that's right. We don't want to get kicked out or get police arrest us.
But thanks for the privilege of having me in front of your artwork.
No, thank you too, man.
With
Hey.
the people of Melbourne.
Thank you too, man.
And you're such a giver. You're such a giving individual.
Hey.
Such a grateful person. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you. And I can't wait till we do this again sometime.
We will, and it'll be longer, and we'll get more, and then I can come up with more stories. Not come up with stories. I can tell you a little bit more, and you can share the links
Absolutely. Let's do that.
and the photos or whatever. And it's just, I think we need to be more grateful, and sometimes it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
what
you,
we'll
man.
name this episode. It is what it is. Woo! Thanks, Peter. Awesome.
That's right, man. Thank you, man.